What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Moose Lodge coming back to you with another YouTube video. We're going to talk about my 90-day experience as a solo driver at Butler Transport. Before we start this video, I need to preface it with this, man. Butler Transport is what I would call a second chance trucking company. A second chance trucking company is a company that employs motherfuckers who got bad driving histories, bad criminal records, and give them a chance to change their life. So with that being said, definitely don't expect to come in the door and make 70, 80, 90,000. Can you make that money here? Absolutely. We got motherfuckers doing that. We got people making six figures here for sure. But they got experience, their driving history is clean, their criminal history is clean. So that money can be made, but you need to prove that you're worth that much before you get paid that much. If you guys want to know what the pay is like, just let me know in the comments. I'll make another video going over the pay structure and how much they pay you starting off. Spoiler, I got a raise, so I'm not getting paid what a brand new driver will be making. So, yeah, 90 days in the door, they already gave me a raise. I'm going to tell you guys how you can achieve that if you come here too. You need to bust your ass, right? You need to be driving at least 2,500 miles a week. I average like 27. You need to be on time with your loads. You need to not be hitting shit with the truck. You need to not be bucking shit up. You need to not be late. You need to be having your logs on point. And at the 90th day, shit, I didn't even wait till the 90th day. I was like my 82nd day or something like that. Like like 2 months and 3 weeks in. I asked the safety manager if we could do a performance review. He pulled up my record, and I didn't even have to ask him. Like, he seen that I wasn't hitting things. He seen I was on time. He seen I was driving the truck, and he just gave me the full raise. Now, when you're in orientation, they tell you that you get your first raise at the 6 months period. Every 60,000 miles, you get a raise. I only drove about 25,000. 25,000 miles in, they gave me a raise, and that's because, dude, I earned it. For real, I earned it. And I'm very proud of that, because I know that a lot of these guys out here will tell you that, you're supposed to suffer your first year and, earn your stripes and all of that garbage. Personally, I kind of feel like whether you've been driving for 30 years or 30 days, we're doing the same shit. I'm over here in Nebraska. It was snowing real bad earlier. And, there's a guy next to me. He could have been driving for 25 years, 30 years. We're both doing the same job. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. At any rate, Butler Transport is a company that sees you, right? And when I say they see you, I don't mean that, they helicopter over you or they're constantly watching you all over your back or hounding you. I mean, like, if you're doing a good job, they're going to notice. If you're doing a bad job, they're going to notice. 7 or 8 times out of 10, they're not going to say anything, but, they do notice. One of the positives, or I guess not one of the positives, there's many positives, but I'll say, one of the reasons I think this might be one of the best companies for a brand new truck driver, period, whether you got a good record or not, is because, they give you a chance to make mistakes. And, they realize that this log shit is kind of complicated. So they allow you time to get used to operating the Qualcomm and stuff like that. When it comes to actually driving the truck, you should already know how to do that. So if you feel uncomfortable, like you're out in some state, you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're doing, and you feel uncomfortable with the weather or something, or the traffic conditions like that, you can let your dispatcher know, hey, I'm going to shut down, I won't make it on time, and they'll reschedule your appointment for you. They're not going to push you to drive. They're not going to push you to be in an uncomfortable situation. They'll work with you. Me, personally, I want the experience of driving through a snowstorm, so I'm not going to let a snowstorm stop me. I'm just going to be extra careful, obviously, but I do want the experience of driving in these harsh conditions. So, yeah. Secondly, the maintenance team. Uh, Again, I don't have anything to, compare this experience to, but my experience, A1, man. I mean, if I could take the maintenance team, the dispatcher, the load planners, wherever to whatever company I go to, if I leave here, I will want to take them because that's just how good my experience was, dude. I mean, I don't know if you can do this at other trucking companies, but one of the load planners actually came outside to talk to me, and he told me about what it was like doing his job, how he has to, balance multiple trucks, keep multiple drivers with miles. Basically, he gave me like an overview of what his job was like. And I think that was important because now I understand what he's dealing with. So now I can take certain things into consideration when I have a request, right? Like when I say I want to go home, he's telling me that, when you want to go home, that is something that needs to be known in advance because you need to be in an area that is more likely to have a load going to where you want it to go. The odds of there being a load going to your home from where you are when you want to go is extremely low, right? Like they don't just create a load out of nowhere going to where you want to go. You have to be where there's a customer trying to ship a load to where you live. So you let them know in advance so that way they can send you your pre-plan. That's why they're called pre-plans. At least here they are. They know that you want to go home on the 15th. It's the 8th. They know that from Kansas City, we have a lot of freight going from Kansas to Georgia. So from the 8th, they'll work on getting you from Utah to Kansas. So when you get there on the 13th, now there'll be a higher chance of them having a load going from Kansas to Georgia. That's just how it works. It makes a lot more sense. It makes my job feel more important, knowing what he has to go through in order to get us where we want to go. And with the maintenance, they're really good about keeping you on the road. They're really good about fixing these trucks and keeping you moving. Me personally, I do pre-trips. I absolutely do pre-trips. I don't believe in, you're about to get in this truck that can be anywhere from 45 to 75,000 pounds, and I'm about to get ready to drive for 11 hours straight without knowing what the hell is going on under the hood. I don't know if there's something stuck in the tire. I don't know if my brakes may have worn down because I was going down a mountain, but I want to look. I want to make sure that for this next 11 hours, I'm going to be okay. So I do my pre-trips. If I do my pre-trip and I see something that's fucked up, I go to the garage. I tell the shop guy. He pulls me in. He fixes it. Just like that. I mean, I got 4 airbags replaced. I got... What the fuck did I get done to this truck? Not a lot of work had to be done to this truck, to be honest, but let's see. I think I got 4 airbags replaced, air line, electrical line, and service line, and I think like a headlight or something. But, getting those things fixed is important because if you don't, they can lead to bigger problems that will cause you to be stuck on the side of the road somewhere. So it's important to do your pre-trip so you can let your company know that your shit is fucked up so they can fix it before it gets worse. And then you end up having to sit in a hotel for 4 days, and now you're talking about how shitty the company is because you didn't check your truck and make sure that it was up to code. Bottom line is, when I'm out here, I try and think like an owner-operator. And when I say that, I take this truck, it's my baby, right? I call it Big Blue. I named it. I take care of it. I make sure the fluids are full. I make sure my brakes, tires, suspension, everything is good. I check the motor oil once a week, just to make sure that it's ready to keep making money for me. Do your damn pre-trips. Seriously. I've seen a lot of trucks tipped over on the side of the road. I was going through New Mexico, right outside of Albuquerque on my way to Arizona, and a truck just bursted into flames. Literally, just engulfed in the flames. They're on the CB radio talking about it was a trailer fire. I guess the dude's trailer brakes caught fire, burned the whole fucking truck up. We were sitting in traffic for 5 hours. It was insane. It was to the point where we're on the CB radio just cracking jokes, just talking shit, because there's nothing else for us to do. You know, guys were pulling over on the shoulder, going to sleep. All of this happened because that dude didn't do a fucking pre-trip. It takes 10 minutes. Check your shit, and then your truck won't explode. It's that simple. So, you know, those type of things you'll see out here on the road. And when you see shit like that, you need to learn from it, because you don't want to be the guy looking in the mirror and there's flames coming out of your trailer axles. You don't want to be that guy. Trust me, it's horrible. I mean, by the time the truck stopped burning, it was like pure ash. Like, I didn't even know that metal could burn like that. Like, I didn't even know that steel could burn to ash. Like, the truck was burning for hours, bro. So I say that to say, do your fucking pre-trips. Now, the trucks were governed at 67 miles per hour. We're not the fastest trucks on the road, but we're not the slowest trucks on the road. Rarely will you be, you know, the guy getting passed up by everyone. Do I wish the trucks were a little faster? Of course. But, you know, 67 gets the job done. And there's another thing I wanted to talk about. They say that, I forgot the percentage, but they say it's like 75%, 80% of CDL holders quit in the first year. The reason for that is because I feel like expectations are not accurately made, right? So just like with any career, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, an electrician, a plumber, a surgeon, whatever, you're not coming into your industry making top dollar. You have to come in through residency, you have to go through training, you have to do an apprenticeship, all this type of shit before you get to six figures. Trucking is like the only industry where year over year, the amount of money that you can demand from a company exponentially increases, right? It requires the least amount of schooling, but you can make top dollar in this industry. So I keep that in my mind, that this is not permanent. You know, the money I'm making, you know, $1,000 a week, $1,100 a week, $1,200 a week, it's not, you know, amazing, but it could absolutely be worse. But I also keep in mind that, you know, a year from now, I'll be making 15, 16, you know, 17, 18, 22, 2,500. You can make that kind of money in this industry. So if you just have your expectations set properly, then you set a plan in place. What part of the industry do you want to go in? Do you want to pull tanker? Do you want to pull hazmat? Do you want to do dry-van hazmat or tanker hazmat? Do you want to do heavy haul? Do you want to do drayage, intermodal? You need to specialize. Just like with doctors, they have to specialize. Whether they do cardiovascular surgery or they do the brain shit, whatever, you know, bones. Doctors have to specialize. Truck drivers have to specialize. If you specialize, you'll make way more money. That's what we all want, right? More money. So, again, I recommend you do your research, pick a specialty. As far as getting used to being in the truck, that's not something that you get used to. Either you can do it or you can't. It just got to be something that you want to do. Because if it's something that you don't want to do and you're forcing yourself to do it, you're not going to be happy. It has to be something that you can just do. Well, I've been rambling for too long. But, yeah, you know, we talked about the early raise potential here. We talked about the maintenance of the trucks. We talked about how you have access to the load planners and the people who actually decide how much money you make. talked about the learning curve. If you guys got any other questions about Butler Transport, leave a comment below, and I'll get around to it. But thanks for tuning in. Moose Lodge out.